Welcome back to Divemaster Diaries in Amorgos, Greece. This is week 2 of my internship with We Shall See, and it has been a roller coaster. This week really pushed me out of my comfort zone. I've been diving in very cold water, navigating, sewing gear, fighting off mosquitoes. So yeah, on Monday, day 1, we started off the week strong with a team meeting at around 8:30 a.m. and I was put on a sewing tasks. So there was a BCD strap that was broken, and I had to sew this with pince in French. It was really hard, uh, but I've done it. I think it's kind of cool to learn how to fix things. I've also learned about the valve behind the BCD. You know, when you want to take air out, you can unscrew this and fix it if it's broken. So that was pretty cool to learn because I never knew I could unscrew this. Then on day 2 in the morning, 8:30, we all gathered here in the dive shop, and we brought the TV here. And with my camera, we looked at the footage of yesterday, and Niko provided some feedback on the skills that we did, what could help us get better at any of these skills. He commented on the bubbles. So with the bubbles on the videos, you can see how much air someone consumes, like inhale and exhale. Some people are having issues with their I wouldn't say issues, but some people are consuming much more air than they should. So the bubbles is a good way to see that. Also, when it comes to buoyancy and just going down in the water, a lot of things basically that Niko was able to kind of provide some feedback on. Then in the afternoon, we went down the Barracuda Catapola Bay, and we practiced some skills with Millie. So I brought my Insta360 again to record the skills. I only had 37% battery, so I recorded some skills, but not all of them. Some skills are easier than others. We all have our things that comes more natural to us. For me, the fin pivot is extremely difficult because my legs are just so floating that it's hard for me to keep that diver position. How can I forget that this night we had the welcome dinner and our host is vegan, so we tasted some vegan food. Then day 3 was all about working on some art project. So I finished up the sewing of the strap. I fixed one of the cap that was open on the forehead, and Eva's wetsuit that had some trouble with the wrist part. Then I helped the guys with the trailer. I think the trailer looks badass. I just love the paint. So that afternoon, I went diving with Shalev and Millie to a place called Barracuda, where we got to see some barracuda, some lobsters, and an octopus. But we practiced our navigation skills. So Shalev and I, each our turn, had to swim back to the entry point, and we both did a good job. So congrats to us. On the way back, we stopped in a bakery in Chora where they make fresh spanakopita, and I love it. I just love it so much. Fresh from the oven, spanakopita.
Fresh from the oven.
On day 4, we went diving, Mili, Shalev, Eva, and I, to Barracuda Point again, and we did 2 short dives. The temperature was cold outside, cold in the water, but we wanted to practice some navigation skills. So on the second dive, Shalev brought us from where we enter the water up to the what we call the arena. And Eva brought us back to the shore, and both of them did a good job. I didn't record the first dive, but we saw some cool lobsters because I wanted to work on my buoyancy again. But on the second dive, I recorded the whole thing, so it's like a 23-minute long video where we can see specific spots that help figure out where we are underwater. So again, we gathered with the TV, some popcorn, and watched the whole thing with Niko commenting and providing feedback on things that we can improve, each of us as divers. Some of the things that I need to work on is using my shoulders to move underwater instead of my arms because it looks like you have no idea what you're doing when you're going like this. So I'm gonna try that. Also, Nico gave us a good tip for when it's cold. We tend to crisp our bodies and shake. You have to relax and it's warmer. So cold is a mindset. I've been working on this. Not easy, but giving it a try, and I think it's helping slightly. On Friday, we had a day off, which was nice because it was a lot windy outside. So I think I slept until 3 p.m. I was so tired. I think I needed that sleep. And then we went into town, Shalav and I, for another gyros and ice cream date, which I love. Saturday, we did some painting again. We started painting onto the car. I kind of think it looks good. We shall see. We shall see how it looks. But I think it's gonna be nice. And Lex went with Nico to practice some skills here close by. We started creating shifts, so I was able to use my morning from 9 to almost 12 to go and try to find an internet with a coffee shop, sorry, with good internet connection, because here it's kind of too slow for the amount of. And this is when I run out of storage, and so now I am in a coffee shop. But what I was saying is that on Saturday, I was able to have a few hours in the morning by myself, and I found a good cafe, which is called the Botanical Garden Cafe, where I picked oranges from the trees, I saw some turtles, and I was able to work on some projects that I need internet for. And on a Sunday, where I recorded most of this video, um, we worked during the day, it was nice, and then at night we went to the botanical garden and watched a movie outside. It was pretty cold, the movie was kind of sad, but it was fun to go out. So this was week 2. Stay tuned for week 3. We are almost done with all of the open water skills, and we will be moving on to some rescue skills on week 3. So please like this video if you like the content, share a comment, ask any questions, and have a good week. Ciao.